Then his face became very pale, and he was very disturbed. We went to this place, Devraj. The deity's name was Devraj. Then Ramanuja, he prayed to Devraj, the deity of that place. That, my dear Lord, how long you will hide your lotus feet from the people in this age? Now this Yajnamurti, he was propounding this Mayavad philosophy. Now I am on the verge of getting defeated. So if I am defeated, then all this Vaishnava philosophy will become covered up. So when will you show your beautiful lotus feet to all the people? When will you reveal your glories? So like that he was crying in front of the deity. Then Devraj, the deity, appeared in his dream and said, my dear Ramanuj, don't worry. Only by your efforts, through your efforts only, the Krishna Vaishnavism will spread all over India. So you don't worry. Then immediately Ramanuja became very blissful and happy, and then his face started shining. So then Yajnamurti, he was waiting. Today is the final clinching. I will defeat by Ramanuja, and immediately his Vaishnavism will be will be defeated like that. This Mayavad philosophy will be spread all over India like that. But he was thinking, as soon as he saw Ramanuja, immediately his mind became purified. He said, "Hey, what is this? Yesterday evening, his face was pale and completely lost color, and now he is effulgent like this." And as soon as by seeing the effulgence of Ramanuja, he said, "I think I am wasting my time by this vanity, of this scholarship, pride. So I think this person, because of his devotion to Krishna, he is looking so blissful. But because of this pride in my heart, I scorched my heart, and then my heart became very dry. My heart became very dry. So that is why, in order to be Krishna conscious, sometimes in order to get Krishna prema, one should be very careful not to make the heart very dry. If you perform too many austerities, your heart becomes very dry. Right? Sometimes, every day you attend Mangalarti, every day you attend, chant your rounds before 7:15, every day you attend Bhagavatam class, Guru Puja, every day you take prasad, and all the time you are following very strictly all the religious principles. Then you may become proud. Huh? So one should be very careful. Sometimes, Prabhupada writes in the purport, that sometimes, those who are very strictly following, they may tend to become proud. And then we will look down upon, hey, every day I am coming to hey, Mangalarti mein nahi aaya, Maya mein hai kya tu? Maya mein hai? Okay, Prabhu, yes, I am in Maya.
क्या करें?
Save me, like that. So this scholarship is a very dangerous thing. That's why I tell devotees sometimes, don't learn Sanskrit. If you learn Sanskrit and read all kinds of books, then after some time, you will become very proud. This is, in 100% cases it happened. I came across such devotees many times. Initially we come, we are very humble, because Prabhupada, we are very grateful to Prabhupada. And then, after some time you develop interest in Sanskrit and all, you read all these books and all. What Prabhupada, every time, he was writing the same thing. I know better than Prabhupada. Finish. Very careful. So, I was scorching my heart, because of all these austerities and penances and vanity of knowledge and scholarship and all. But this person, because of his devotion, he is looking so blissful and happy. So, Prabhupada, so immediately surrendered to Ramanuja. So please, save me from this, vanity. Then Ramanuja was surprised. it is very easy to give up other vanities, but this vanity of being a scholar, impossible to give up. How did you get this? How are you giving it up? You know? Then he said, oh, because by the mercy of Devraj. You know, Devraj. Then he told him, this Mayavadis and all, they think that they are God and all, they don't wear sacred thread and all. He said, he gave him sacred thread, you should wear this. And then he changed his name to Devraj Muni. Because by the mercy of Devraj, he became a devotee, like that. So, Devraj Muni, immediately then he told him, he's such a great scholar, such a great scholar. So, Jnanasara, like that, and then he wrote a book, how to practice sannyas and all that. He wrote 2 books he wrote. Then Ramanuja, he constructed a special monastery, mutt, and then he gave him that mutt to live there and practice. So meanwhile, 4 young devotees, they came to surrender to Sri Ramanuja. So Ramanuja told them to go and take initiation from Devraj Muni. Then when they approached, please give us initiation. Then he said, oh my God, just now I am trying to come out of this vanity of being a big scholar and being all this pride and all. Now I have to develop this again feeling that I am the guru of so and so. So my dear Lord, what is this test? Like that. Then he started crying, shedding tears. Then immediately he went to Ramanuja and said, please, my dear Lord, I thought I am very dear to you. What is this curse that you are bestowing upon me? Why are you asking me to become guru? Please save me. I just want to remain your very faithful disciple of yours and serve your lotus feet. Please don't give me a chance to become proud again. Because once you become a guru, that means so many people come and worship, Vyas Puja and all glorifying, you are born to deliver us, like that. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj wrote, once everybody was glorifying, then he wrote a footnote. Please, I am not born to deliver anybody. I am born according to my karma only. Like that. So, very, then Ramanuja smiled and said, actually I am testing you. My dear child, you passed the test. I am very satisfied with you. Please continue with your practice of devotion and writing of the books and all. Like that. So this pride, if somebody has pride, he will never become Krishna conscious. It is a completely opposite to Krishna consciousness. Humility. Humility is the ornament of a devotee. Right? Like that. When this pride will enter our heart, we don't know. We don't know. For what we will become proud, we don't know. Right? Like Maya is always like in like a needle, out like a plow. Right? Prabhupada gave this example. Once one person was sitting in the train, and the train was, a lot of rush was there, and one family was there. That husband was very thin. Then he said, okay, he was feeling very bad that that person was standing. So he said, please come and sit. So he sat. Then after that his son came. Thoda jagah banaye na. Son also came and sat. Right? Thoda push karo na. So his daughter came. So the daughter also thoda jagah banana. So usko bana diya. His wife came इतना मोटी, पूरा उसको सीट से निकाल दिया. Like that, Maya is like that. Maya is like that. We don't know when, in what form she will enter. So what is the remedy? Huh? What is the remedy?
Pray to Krishna.
Huh?
Pray to Krishna
Huh?
to save from Maya.
They're already chanting.
Pray
Huh?
to Krishna. Pray to Krishna.
What is the remedy? Cultivate humility. So, cultivating humility means what? I am a fool number one. Prabhupada, you are the greatest. Right? We should never think. There is one devotee, I can name his name, Satyanand Das. He was, when 91, when he joined, he is a friend of Rasraj Prabhu and he is a great scholar. So, they were studying together, I think, working together in Detroit. Rasraj Prabhu, 80s. So, they became, he is working in America, rotting. Like Rasraj Prabhu always says that when Indians go there, within a week's time they get American. They become like Americans. Simply get rotten. Huh? Simply get rotten. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, those fattest pigs are slaughtered first. Those Indians with lot of bad karma, they are sent to America. So why? From their hell.
Shortcuts.
Yeah. They will start eating beef and womanizing, drugs. What all they do get into. Right? Very bad. Of course now ISKCON is there and they have got opportunities. But very bad like that. So he became a devotee and then later on, he got interested in reading Sanskrit and all. So he became Sanskrit Pandit. Then he started translating Tattva Sandarbha, he translated. Very nicely translated. Fantastic book it was. But after that, something happened and he started accusing Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Then he started his own institute. They said, Prabhupada is not bona fide. Alright? You are rotting in, brothel houses in America. Prabhupada has saved you. Now Prabhupada is not bona fide. Right? So Jiva Institute karke institute banaya. So they say that ISKCON is not bona fide. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is not bona fide. All this, right? But who has saved you, Baba? Huh? Who has saved you? One of our devotees also. I don't want to name him. Now he is saying he had so many followers in ISKCON. Yatras and this, that. Yatras and all. Then suddenly he said, women should not be given, should not be allowed to chant. This is not proper, and then he took out his sacred thread and all. So one devotee told him, now you got all this name, it is because of Prabhupada only, no? Prabhupada only, no? So at least have some, decency that don't criticize Prabhupada. Okay, you preach your own philosophy, but at least don't criticize Prabhupada, right? That is why Srila Prabhupada said, don't forget your past, right? So now I am sitting here, all of you, very respectfully hearing from me. But 20 years back, what was I? Traveling in the trains, drinking tea, watching movies. Rotten, Now if I become proud and say, I became, then, the Srila Prabhupada, all of us actually, please, don't forget your past, where from you came. Whatever we are, it is because of
Srila Prabhupada.
By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. That is why Prabhupada, in front of Prabhupada, we should always remain full number one. Then only you will understand Srila Prabhupada books. If I think, what is this Prabhupada? Like Vaishali Mataji, she attends my or Kalina lectures. So she was telling her realizations that she was reading first kind of Bhagavatam and then she was thinking, Prabhupada, why is writing the same thing again and again? She was thinking in her mind. So later, next day when she was reading, started first kind of reading again, then she found that sentence. I am writing this again and again, so that it will get into your head, It'll get into your head. Like that. So now she says, okay, now I know. If you have any, like that, one should remain very humble. Better not to read too many books. Enough. Whatever books we have, that is enough. Huh? So, yeah, being very careful. One should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of his being a relative or a friend, when the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes. Your eyes don't lie. Right? If somebody comes to your house and you don't like, right? Aye. But eyes are. बस गिरा गया.
कहाँ से आ गया?
Your eyes, no, our eyes don't lie. If the anger is there, our eyes show it. So if your mind is peaceful and happy, or if you are happy really in the mind, then our eyes also, please come. Right? So we will know, what is, sometimes when we go for money collecting and all. And then we will see, aa gaya so much. We 41,000 kya? Right? Krishna wale chhodte nahi. This we learned from Prabhupada. When Prabhupada was a marketing man in Bose company, he said, once I get a inquiry, Prabhupada said in one conversation, once I get an inquiry, I will never leave him till he purchases. Become a life member like if he doesn't give, finish. उसका सेल नंबर निकाल देगा. मंदिर में आएगा, स्वामी जी हरे कृष्णा. आ गया, देखो डोनेशन नहीं दिया, क्यों प्रसाद क्यों देने का. Like that. So raised eyebrows and angry eyes, like that. This is a very important verse. Please remember. If one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as when cut by the unkind words of a relative. For such grief continues to rend one's heart day and night. Right? We all have this experience. What somebody said, 25 years back, it still hurts us. But when somebody injures us with a knife or an arrow or something, you go to the doctor, and then you apply some medicine, take some antibiotic, it gets cured. You are not bothered by, you are not troubled by this injury. But harsh words spoken by some relative or a friend or somebody, still we remember, it rankles our head. Oh, he spoke like that. So, Lord Shiva was reminding her that you will not be able to tolerate. Now you are going out of affection for your father, but your father is a crooked man. So he is still angry. He is still angry with me, with you. So because then you will actually regret that you are my wife, because you will be insulted. My dear white complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. Right? So because of your connection with me, you will be insulted even though you are his pet daughter. Right? So now, this all this love and all, it's all bogus. Nowadays, we see in Haryana and all, they kill their own daughters, honor killing. Right? Just because she is married to some other caste person, they just kill their own daughters, very mercilessly. So what kind of love you have got? Right? like that. One who is conducted by a false ego and is always distressed, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the appearance of self-realized persons. Being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada writes, now Lord Shiva is telling why Daksha Prajapati was upset. Why he is up? It's not because Lord Shiva did not get up to offer respect. Why? Because Lord Shiva was a self-realized person, and Daksha Prajapati knew that his exalted position, because he is unable to reach his position, he is envious. And because of that envy, he is actually offending Lord Shiva. That's why I'm always telling, many they have this yoga, japa retreats and all. Right? How many japa retreats you may attend? 1 week, 10 days, you'll be all right. You'll be chanting it all. After that again, same old story. Why? Because unless you give up offenses, you cannot relish chanting. How to give up offenses? It's not something mechanical. Okay, now onwards, from tomorrow onwards, till today, I will blaspheme all the Vaishnavas and all. From tomorrow onwards, I will not criticize anybody. Does it work like that? Huh? As long as we criticize Vaishnavas, we will not be able to progress in spiritual life. So why do we criticize Vaishnavas?
Envious.
Huh?
Envy.
Because of envy. As long as we don't give up sense enjoyment, we cannot make progress. We cannot stop offending. So why do we desire sense enjoyment? Because you are envious of
Krishna.
Krishna. Right? As long as we are envious of Krishna, we don't like to give up desire for sense enjoyment. Right? So as long as we have desire for sense enjoyment, we cannot stop offending, because we feel that other person is disturbed my sense enjoyment. That's why we offend the devotee. So we have to be very, very careful. So the root cause of all our troubles is envy. So how to give up enviousness?
Being humble.
Many times I told this.
Tolerate.
Tolerate.
What tolerate? Tell Shivani.
Celebrate others.
Yes. By celebrating
Other success.
other success. When you become joyful when somebody is successful, then you are not envious. Right? Oh, he's got award, for number of books distributed, or he collected more money, or every day he is coming for Mangal Arati. Sometimes, people become envious because somebody else is doing good sadhana. Yeah? Then disturb, who is like. Right? Like this, so many envy is a thing, it's in our heart, we should actually recognize it. Sometimes you are very pally with others, but actually you are envious of that person. So we should actually give up enviousness. We can give up enviousness by when Krishna. How do we give up enviousness towards Krishna? You become happy when Krishna is glorified. Right? Like Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, when they were distributing books in the libraries and all, their litmus test, whether to go ahead or not. Demon means he is simply disturbed by Krishna, by seeing the picture of Krishna. So what they would do, they will take out Bhagavatam and take out the picture of Krishna. Please take this book. If that person is a demon, immediately even disturbed by seeing Krishna's picture. Even in Russia, in the remote corners of Africa also. If that person is envious of Krishna means he will be disturbed by seeing the picture of Krishna. You know, many people when we give class, you know, they say, why don't you know, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, you should worship him. Why only Krishna? Why not Lord Shiva? Why not this Baba, that Baba? That means he is
Envious.
I said, Lord Shiva is related to you or what? Why are you fighting his case? Why are you fighting his case? You know, liar. Why you have taken up his case, you know? You have any problem worshipping Krishna? They have a problem because they are. It is there. It is in thing, you know, intrinsic thing. No, like that, you know. You have to, then they won't proceed. Okay, that person is, you know, like that. If he feels happy, then please, you know, this Bhagavatam, this, that. They used to sell books like that. That is a, you know, test like that. So we have to be. We give up envy towards Krishna by, you know, hearing about him, and then by becoming joyful when we hear Krishna Katha. You know, when Krishna is glorified, we become happy. Not that, you know, I want to be glorified. You know, why? What is the problem? You know, why Krishna is, you know, all the time Krishna, Krishna, you know, why not? What about me? Right? We should actually give up this envious mentality towards Krishna and envious mentality towards other Vaishnavas and other living entities. Then only we can make progress in spiritual life. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting Ramkeli, then in the night, Rupa and Sanatana, that time Dabir Kas and Sakar Mallik, they went and surrendered to Lord Chaitanya. You know? And Lord Chaitanya kept his lotus feet on their heads and blessed them. Right? Other devotees they saw, they became very joyful. They became very joyful. Then Prabhupada said, this is a symptom of a Vaishnava. You know? When other devotees they get the mercy of the Lord, they become joyful. You know? So when other devotee is progressing, you know, is you know, chanting nicely, making good progress in spiritual life, we should become joyful. Okay? Not that, you know. So then we will also attract Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Like not if you become envious and try to actually envious persons, they cannot change your destiny. Okay? You experience this. So many people are envious of you and your position and all. But you carry on, you know. If it isn't my destiny, no, who can stop? Right? So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was destined to be the king of Hastinapur. So Duryodhana was very envious, but he could not. His envy could not stop him from becoming. So why we should become envious? You know? Our envy cannot change somebody's good karma. So it is like, you know, becoming envious of other means, you know, क्या बोलते कुलाड़ी से अपना पैर काटने, क्या बोलते
अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारने,
हाँ, अपना पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारने, ऐसा ही, harming oneself. You know, we are blocking
our progress,
Progress.
our own progress.
Yeah. Right? Ego, you know, because of ego, all these things come.
Edging God out.
Ego, you know what is meant by ego? Huh?
Edging God out.
Shivani, remember? Edging God out. Right? So, it is. So, Mahaprabhu blessed them. Then Prabhupada writes, there are many people in the guise of devotees. If somebody is envious, even he is wearing the Kantimala and Vaishnava dress, he should not be given any respect. Because if somebody is envious, he is not a Vaishnava. That is the test. Right? If I feel enviousness towards other people, that means I am not a